1 lecture 8. In this lecture we'll make a little bit revision of irrational numbers. About this topic we have learned in 9th standard. To revise, we have to remember some important properties of irrational numbers. One of the important property is if a number cannot be written in the form of p upon q, it is called an irrational number, where p and q are integers and q is never 0. Another one important property of irrational number is here in 10th standard, that theorem 1.3. Let p be a prime number, and if p divides a square, then p divides a, where a is a positive integer. I hope that you might have understood. Let p be a prime number. If p is a prime number and p divides a square, then p divides a 2. Let us understand with an example. 2 divides 6 because 2 is the factor of 6. Therefore, now let's take square of 6, and if we think about square of 6, we get 36, and for the factors of, if we take prime factors of 36, we again get 2 and 3 in prime factors of 36. Therefore, we can say 36 is also divisible with 2. It means 2 divides 36 2. If 2 divides 6 square, then 2 divides 6. Okay. One more important property of irrational numbers. To understand that property, let's take theorem 1.4. Theorem 1.4 says that prove that root 2 is irrational. To prove this thing, first of all, let us assume as root 2 is rational. If we say root 2 is rational, then we can write root 2 as a ratio of two integers a and b. And if a and b have only common factor 1, can you think when can this happen? When we write any value of a ratio, when we cross all the common factors of numerator and denominator, whatever value remains, that value have only common factor 1. So here I have taken that type of value for root 2, and that value I have taken a upon b. So here, if let us assume root 2 is a rational, so we can write root 2 as a ratio of two integers a and b, and a and b have only common factor 1. Therefore, we can write a upon b equals to root 2. By rearranging the terms, we can get this type of formation, that it means a equals to root 2 into b. Now let us take square at both of sides. When we take square at both the sides, we get this type of value, a square is equal to 2b square. This is very important result, and up to here we have completed second part of the proof. Now here we can see that in the factors of a square at the right hand side, we have two factors. One is 2 and the another factor is b square. So here a square has factor 2, and therefore 2 divides a square, and as per the theorem 1.3, 2 divides a. Have you understood? In the result number 1, we got a square is equal to 2b square. So there is 2 in the factors of a square. So 2 divides a square, and if 2 divides a square, then 2 divides a as per the theorem 1.3. Here we finished the third part of our proof. Now if 2 divides a, then we can write a equals to 2 into c, and c is some integer. Have you understood? 2 divides a, it means 2 is the factor of a. Therefore 2 into any number can give us value of a, and that any number is c. So we can write a is equals to 2c. Now let us make square at both of sides. By making square at both of the side, we get another result, that is a square equals to 4c square. Now see result number 1 and result number 2. In both of these results, we are given values of a square. In result 1, the value is 2b square, and in result 2, the value is 4c square, and both the values are of a square. So we can say values of one term is always same. So by result 1 and 2, we can say 2b square equals to 4c square. By rearranging the terms in the result, we'll get b square equals to 4c square by 2. Now getting the common factors, you can write b square is equal to 2c square. 4 is divided with 2, therefore we got 2, and therefore we got final value b square equals to 2c square. So here in the factors of right hand side of the in this result, at the right hand side you can see 2 as a factor of b square. So we can say b square is divisible with 2. It means 2 divide b square, and by the theorem 1.3, 2 divides b. So here we got two statements. The first one is 2 divides a, and the second one is 2 divides b. Here it means, what does it mean? It means that 2 is the common factor of a and b. So a and b has common factor 2, but we have already said that therefore it is in contrast of a and b have only common factor 1. Have you understood? We have already said that a and b have only common factor, and that is 1. But here by doing the calculation, we got a and b has another common factor, and that is 2. So these two statements are in contrast, and these, because what is the reason of this contrast? The reason of this contrast is our assumption is wrong. Therefore we can say root 2 is irrational. Our assumption is root 2 is rational, and that is wrong, and therefore root 3 is rational. I hope you might have understood. And to understand this, the same thing more, let's take one more question. Example number 9. Prove that root 3 is irrational. I have already remained whatever I have written in theorem 1.4. I have already kept it on the board as it is, because I will change the value of 3 with value of 2. So wherever I have written 2, I will write 3. So here in the first line, I will write, let us assume root 3 is rational. Therefore we can say root 3 equals to a upon b, and a and b have only common factor 1. By rearranging the terms, we can write a upon b equals to root 3, and therefore rearranging the terms, we can write a is equals to root 3b. By making square of both of the side, a square equals to root 3b whole square. So we get value a square equals to 3b square, and here 3 is the factor of a square. Therefore we can say 3 divides a square, and therefore by theorem 1.3 we can say 3 divides a, and therefore we can write a equals to 3 into c. C is some integer. By making square of this term, we'll get a square equals to 3c whole square, and by making square of 3c whole square, we get result a square is equal to 9c square. And now in this result, we got a square equals to 9c square, and in result 1 we got a square equals to 3b square. So we will compare both of these values. 3b square equals to 9c square, and rearranging the terms, we'll write b square equals to 9c square upon 3, and by writing its value, we can write that b square equals to 3c square. What does it mean? It means that 3 divides b square, and by theorem 1.3 3 divides b. Understood? 3 divides b square, therefore by theorem 1.3, 3 divides b, and therefore we can say a and b has common factor 3, and it is in contrast of a and b have only common factor 1. Therefore our assumption is wrong, and therefore we can say that root 3 is irrational. Now writing the same way, you can prove that root 5 is irrational. You can solve this thing using two questions that we have learned. Thank you.